Hello, welcome, and Happy New Year. I am still in awe that we are now in 2024. I was hoping that 2023 would be a big year for me in my crochet journey. Unfortunately, it did not pan out as quite as I had hoped. However, personally, 2024, I saw many big changes. The biggest of these was that fact that my husband's job changed and we moved over 900 miles. With that, we downsized into a small townhome. Hi, I'm Deb of Dulce Bella Crochet Designs. And with the new year upon me, I want to reflect on 2023 and plan to make 2024 amazing. And so to make that happen, I have set up some goals for 2024. I was able to crochet several projects throughout 2023 that I am very proud of. Some of those projects I created myself. I designed them, I crocheted them, and created, have this wonderful pattern that others can use. Some were patterns that I found online that intrigued me that I wanted to do. Some were because they were patterns and projects that I had never made. So 2023 was productive in some ways, but not completely productive in the way I was hoping it to be. My two most successful projects of 2023, at least in my mind at this moment, is my Unity shawl pattern and my new yarn room. The Unity shawl pattern was created in celebration of me reaching 500 subscribers on this YouTube channel. And it was made to be very beginner friendly, so it uses basic crochet stitches. And I am so proud of how it turned out that I have decided in 2024 I want to try to create a sister shawl, as I'm going to call it, to go with it. So it's going to use the same basic idea in the pattern, but I'm going to try to make it into a triangular shawl. The second project that I had in 2023 that I am super proud of and I think was a success for me was designing and creating my own yarn room. Previously, I simply had a walk-in closet to hold all of my crochet stuff. And now I have an actual room. I'm able to put all of my crochet things in this room and have a place where I can comfortably work, create, and crochet. Although I was productive in 2023, I did not get as far in my crochet journey as I had hoped. Partly due to personal life just got in the way. Partly due to my own fears, poor habits, insecurities, and time management skills. Looking forward on to 2024 now, I have set several goals for my crochet journey. Number one being that I want to change my daily habits so that I can become more productive. Number two, I want to increase my subscriber list on my YouTube channel as well as on my website. Number three, I want to launch my new crochet tutorial series called Crochetology. Number four, I want to accomplish and make my own temperature blanket for the year of 2024. Number five is to publish my comprehensive crochet journal. And number six is an easy one, maybe, and that is to use up as much of my yarn stash as I possibly can. My first goal of becoming more productive, changing my daily habits so that I can be more productive in my crochet journey, stems from two things. Number one, the lack of my productivity in 2023, as I see it. Many of my goals that I had for 2023 are now my goals for 2024. But my lack of productivity stems from my poor habits, and I realized that. The second was reading the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, this book was recommended to me by my niece. I was explaining to her one day that I was very frustrated with not being able to accomplish my goals for 2023. And yes, some of it had to do with just life circumstances. The majority of it was more due to my own personal habits and insecurities and fears, as I mentioned before. And in our discussion, she brought up this book. She highly suggested that I read this book. It was an amazing book. And it made me realize that what I had done in 2023 was try to do too much too fast and all at the same time. I needed to slow down and break it down into smaller steps. And the book, Atomic Habits, gives you step-by-step direction on how to change those habits a little bit at a time so that you don't become overwhelmed. And that's exactly what happened. I became very overwhelmed with trying to accomplish all of my goals. My first goal, changing my habits, leads into my second goal of building my subscriber list, not only on my YouTube channel, but also on my website. It was because of my daily habits that were poor, my time management skills, all of those things, my insecurities, being uncertain about myself, not feeling comfortable in front of the camera, which I still am not super comfortable in front of the camera, but it is getting better. But it's that those habits that I had not formed were not working for me. That is why I was not able to build my subscriber list in my YouTube channel and my website. So my first goal, or my first goal kind of leads into my second goal. Then those two goals lead into my third goal. My third goal for 2024 is actually probably one of my biggest goals for 2024. And that goal is to launch a crochet series called Crochetology. I have crocheted for more than 40 years, and I have taught elementary school for a little over 30 years. Putting those two skills together, I am going to create a 20-lesson series that is very beginner friendly. So I'm going to walk someone through from the very beginning to where they can become an advanced beginner crocheter. There's going to be approximately 20 lessons. Each of those lessons is going to include a written tutorial, a video tutorial, as well as a pictorial tutorial. Each of the 20 lessons is going to be simple and easy to follow. I am hoping to publish this series called Crochetology sometime in the spring or early summer. So be sure to check back often for updates on the Crochetology series. My fourth goal for 2024 was to create a temperature blanket. Temperature blankets have been around for several years and have actually become very popular. Although I have crocheted many a blanket in my day, I have never done the temperature blanket. Partially because I wasn't sure that it was a project that I felt I would like. But since we moved towards the end of 2023, I decided that making a temperature blanket for our first year in this new climate would be a great way to commemorate that first year. So I spent several weeks at the end of 2023 and the beginning of 2024 trying to decide on my color scheme. Now, I am a very big fan of purple, and so I wanted to make sure that there was a lot of different shades of purple in the blanket. So I started with that. I spent lots of time trying to come up with the perfect color scheme. And I came down to two different ones. They were pretty much the same kind of color scheme. Just one was more warm colors and one was more cool colors. I chose to go with more of a cool color theme. And I think it's going to be. I picked my colors and I've got my temperature range, which I did an 8-degree range. And I've got it all worked out here, got my samples here so I can keep track. And then I decided to choose the extended moss for my crochet stitch pattern. In fact, I am currently doing really well. So here's my blanket so far. You know, you can see I've got some purples in there, got some greens and some blues. So I'm very excited about this. I think this is going to be a very nice one. My temperature blanket has got a good start to it, and so I am pretty excited to see how it is going to turn out at the end of 2023. So be watching for my progress reports on my temperature blanket for 2024, not 2023, 2024. My fifth goal for 2024 is to create and publish a comprehensive crochet journal. Now, my reason for creating this and making this a goal for 2024 is I felt that in 2023, part of my lack of productivity was I lost track of where I was at and what I had going on. And so I was writing down my steps to the patterns that I was creating in journals, in notebooks, but they were getting lost. I was losing track of which journal it was in. So I wanted to kind of combine it into one. And so I have been working on this comprehensive journal. Now, there's going to be two versions of this journal. One is going to be very comprehensive, meaning it is going to be very large. It is going to have 25 to 30 pages, and it's going to include lots of different things, which I will get to in a moment. It's only going to be available for purchase on my Etsy shop, so be watching for that. The other version is going to be a much smaller version. It's probably going to be 4 to 6 pages, and it's going to be the very basic things. And you're going to be able to find that on my website free with your subscription. Now, the comprehensive journal is going to consist of pages. It's going to have a cover page. It's going to have a this belongs to page, some other cover pages like for references, gift giving. It's going to have a yearly, monthly, weekly, and daily project pages. So you can write down your projects looking at those. It's going to have a daily planner. It's going to have, for some of the other major things, are going to be some references. You're going to find references for yarn weights, for hook sizes. You're going to have references for how to make a perfect hat, how to determine how to make a perfect sized hat or blanket sizes. It's going to have references for needle sizes. You're going to be able to have stash inventory pages for your yarn stash, your hook and needle stash, for your pattern stash. You're going to have gift giving pages that can help you track your gifts for the year. You're going to have queue pages to keep track of what projects you have started or what you want to complete for the year. So again, it's going to be very comprehensive. That's just a small portion of what I'm trying to put into this crochet journal or planner. So again, that's going to be able to be found on my Etsy shop when I get it published. So be watching. I will do a video and let you know when it's there. But it's going to be very comprehensive. And I can't wait to get it done so I can get my journal put together, which I've already started, and get more organized for 2024. And my last goal, goal number 6 for 2024, is to work down my yarn stash. Now, as crocheters, I'm sure many of you have a large yarn stash. Maybe not as large as mine, but maybe a little bit larger than you would like. Or maybe it is much larger than mine. Everybody has their own. And so what I would like to do in 2024 is to take my yarn stash and work it down. So instead of buying yarn for my projects, I hope to use up the yarn that I already have. Much of the yarn that I have has been purchased basically from yarn hauls to Hobby Lobby, Michael's, Joann's, when they've had their big yarn sales throughout the years. And so now I'm like, okay, I'm starting to get too much yarn, or so I feel. And many of you may feel the same way, and that's fine. But my plan is to work down that yarn stash and make it easier to maintain. So again, that's usually a pretty common goal for most people at the beginning of the year, is to see if they can work down. I told myself at the beginning of the year that I wasn't going to buy any more yarn, and I've already kind of messed that one up. I've gone out and bought yarn that I found on sale, just because I thought, this is great yarn. It's pretty. I like the colors. I like the feel of it. Oh, this project would be great for it, or it would be great for a particular project. So I've already kind of failed on that one. But again, that is my 6th goal. Okay, so for a recap. So my goals for 2024 have been, number 1, to change my daily habits so that I can be more productive. I feel like I have got a good start on this goal. I have already changed a lot of my daily habits, and I have seen an improvement in my productivity thus far this year. My second goal was to increase my subscriber list on both my YouTube channel, I almost twisted that one up, and my website. Now, I know my YouTube channel has increased in the number of subscribers, so thank you very much for joining me and subscribing to my channel. But I want to keep it growing. So I want to keep that up. My third goal was to launch a beginner-friendly crochet series, learn how to crochet. I am calling it Crochetology. I have gotten started on planning that one out, and so I've already got a good start on that as well. And then my fourth goal was to create a temperature blanket, and I showed you what I've gotten done so far. I'm proud of myself for sticking with it and doing it regularly throughout the month of January, and be watching for progress reports or progress videos on that one as well. Then my fifth one was to create a comprehensive crochet journal. This one was to help me with my first goal, to be more productive and stay on top of what I needed to do. I've got a very good start on that. It is nearly ready to publish, so be watching in the near future for that to come out. Again, you can purchase the comprehensive journal on my Etsy shop, or a smaller version of this journal with about 4 to 6 pages. It can be found free on my website at dolcebella.com, dolcebelladesigns.com. And the final one is to simply work down my yarn stash, like a lot of people would like to do. A lot of crocheters have that goal. And I have done that. I have worked down my stash in the month of January a little bit, but I have also had to buy some yarn because, of course, you know, my temperature blanket, I didn't have the yarn that I wanted. So I have had to buy some yarn. So hopefully from here on out, I can hold back on this number of the amount of yarn that I purchase and try to work down my yarn stash to some extent, and maybe use more yarn than I buy. Let's hope that works. Well, there you have it. There are my 6 goals for 2024. I feel like I have got a great start on my goals, and I hope this encourages you to set some goals for your crochet journey. If this was your first time here at Dolce Bella Crochet Designs, thank you so much for stopping by. Be sure to hit the like and subscribe button. And if you hit the notification bell, you'll get notified anytime I post something new. If you've already been here, thanks for stopping by again. And until next time, happy crocheting.